In this video I have a bit of an oddball thing. This actually made me do a double take when I first saw it. It's from the 1970s originally, and it's a Philips, well, video cassette recording they call it, VCR N1502, though it's not quite one. When I originally saw it, it was just this small unit, and I thought, what on earth is this thing? Did they make, like, because the 1980s VCRs that were beta and VHS ones that had a camera with them came with like a VCR section, which was only a video recorder that you could carry around with you, plug your camera in and run it off a battery. Then they'd have like a unit like this, a timer tuner. Sometimes it had the power supply in it, sometimes that was a third unit. So when I saw this, that really sort of had me going for a minute, and then I realised, of course, yeah, this has actually been sawn off. I noticed these couple of Dick Smith type toggle switches there. Actually, I think I need one of those red-ended ones for an amplifier, kit amplifier. This was actually an N1502. This format was the Philips format from the 1970s, known as the N1500 format to some. I sort of knew it as N1700. And I do have an N1700 machine. This one used to be an N1502, which must have been one of the digital display ones. The original 1500 one had an analog clock on it. So I know there was at least two versions that had a digital clock on them, and I believe, I'm not sure which, or whether it's all of them, but I think there's at least two different recording formats, so you can't play the tape back on one. You can't play back a tape recorder on one on another, and I think it was these 1500 series was one format and the 1700 is another. But someone obviously had a leftover one of these. I remember these were used in my high school in, yeah, that would have been the sort of mid to late 80s. So they were still around because I guess they cost a lot of money and they still had them, so why not use them? They used to record shows to show the students off the ABC and stuff. They're still around even then, but really sold in the 70s, very expensive. I don't know that anyone really bought them as a home VCR, but some people may have, but more a commercial kind of thing. But they were really the first practical home or even business video cassette recorder, colour one. And I only ever repaired one of these. I did have one given to me, I don't know which model it was, but it must have been the same model as this other one. And a guy, he actually worked for another electronics repair place and asked me if I knew anything about them. I said not really, but I do have one for parts. And it was a friend of his. They had wedding videos recorded on this format, or I guess it may have been recorded on something completely different, but their copy was in this Philips format. And so I said, yeah, give me the machine, I'll see if I can get it going. And it had a dodgy drum. They got an enormous big head in them, like so big or something, big drum motor in it. And that one had dodgy bearings in it, was one of the problems. But if you stood the machine up on its end, that would run fine. The other problem is one of the modules in there. These are actually like a Philips K9 television. They have lots of aluminium circuit board modules plugged in, and you can unplug them. I think they did all the chroma, luma for the video, as well as tuner sections and stuff, which is what we're going to have inside this one. Well, I assume we still have them in there. I can see one through the cover there, and one of those was faulty. I think it was like the drum speed or capstan speed or something was out. So I just swapped modules until I found the faulty one. Stuck that in there, said, look, just stand the thing on its end and dub your video onto VHS or whatever, and then chuck it. So they were happy with that. I think I just charged them 40 bucks or something to do that, and got it going for them. So that guy was just wanted it running purely for that. And I said, look, you know, the drum is just about stuffed in it, so it's not going to last, but if you're happy just to get the thing running and get your tape off it, and I don't want to see it again. I think I may have actually bought another one of them later on and possibly sold it on again for next to nothing. I do get a feeling I saw one in this sort of, probably around the year 2000 or something. And then recently I did buy another one, as well as this one was in the tip shop. And I saw it was only $8, this thing. And I thought, first I thought, what on earth is it? Then I realised it wasn't actually a commercial unit, which I didn't think existed. I thought that's a unicorn if it's a real thing. And then I thought, I'll buy it anyway, because I actually like this sort of thing where people have modified things. So I'm assuming the VCR section failed in it, And this is the sort of thing we did back in the sort of 80s and 90s to save a few dollars. If you wanted some sort of tuner to go with a monitor or something, not sure what else you would probably use it for, but you could actually cut down something like this and use it, because these are a very long machine, probably 2.5, maybe double this length, maybe double and a bit. So I think what's happened is either it was still running and it was obsolete, or it was faulty. So someone's actually cut one end off it. This end would have been there. There was a cassette unit somewhere, similar size to this, and then this tuner at the end, and someone's cut it down just to make a, probably not a tuner, a timer so much, but just a tuner. So if we look on the back, cord's gone. What do we got? We got color switch, RF in, RF out. That's probably audio in the DIN, or that might be audio to video. Well, actually it says antenna out there. That's interesting. Audio. Oh, that's that one. Antenna out, audio. Are they labelled? Doesn't look like it. Someone's added a 5-pin DIN. And that was the colour switch on and off. So who knows what they used it for. But it was a good cheap way to get some sort of tuner with AV out. Maybe it was to demodulate it to video. Like I say, to run a video-only monitor or something. Or who knows what they used it for. Could have used it for anything, I guess. Well, not there's that many uses for it. Oh yeah, we've got the settings there. Made in Austria. And yeah, that's what the original VCR, I think that was kind of proprietary to Philips, even though we always called them video cassette recorders. I think it's more VTR, video tape recorder is more one that you can actually put on another machine. We've got channel buttons, should have some sort of clock, audio, colour and video. I'm not sure if this one of these would be the power switch, I guess. Who knows what the other does. And we have like the old TV, again, Philips K9 style tuning drawer here that clicks out. That's what they had on the front of the TVs. Oh, there you go, that rotates whatever it is. Looks like there was actually a 9-volt battery snap in there, which they've pulled out, but originally a 9-volt battery would go in there. Maybe was that to keep the timer program or something. But yeah, probably didn't have memory in these, whatever you call it, I forget the name for it, but the sort of memory that doesn't lose its contents when the power goes off. This would have been the old early stuff that needed a backup battery, I'm guessing. Certainly the TVs of that era probably would have needed something, because this has got the timer. Obviously the tuning is manually set, so that's not a thing you need to worry about. The old Philips push button TVs of this era, all done by one of these drawers. But if you've got a timer set, you'd probably, and the power goes out and comes back on, you'd want that to reset, I guess, to record your program. And yeah, that's what they used them for at the school. I think they used to set the timer on it, one of the teachers there, and it would record programs of interest to the students that they wanted for some course or whatever, some class. But yeah, besides a little bit rough there, I mean, they've done a very good job of this. Like I say, it took me a little while to work out what it even was. But of course, in hindsight, you can see the saw marks and stuff, but they did a pretty good job. What have we got underneath? Some sort of, they put something in here. Why is it that someone's put texture patterns on it or something? No idea what that is. You can see the old yellowed araldite by the look of it there. So just a completely random machine. I thought if nothing else, it might be good for parts. What have we got? One big Phillips screw on the back, I think. For another one of these machines. But I'm not sure what the difference is between a 1700 and a 1500, and this is going to be missing all the useful bits for the VCR. Oh, this is actually a bit loose now. Let's have a look at it. Oh, it was glued originally. Presso Technica. That's probably a Philips part number. But yeah, it always interested me, the sort of things that people made, because I used to do the same thing. If you're an electronics hobbyist, you would get random old bits of equipment and try and make something else out of them if you could. It looks like it's got a Ferguson made in Australia transformer added in, terminal blocks down there. Looks like they actually cut them and made their own metal chassis thing here to mount that, which is nice, and probably to shield it. But these are those modules I was talking about. Philips K9, K11 televisions, full of the same things. I think the KT2 might have had them. These tuners are all pretty much, I wouldn't be surprised if that part number is the same in that sort of television, although that's the tuner, I think. That could be a modulator. who knows, but these are probably VCR specific bits, and these should swing out. Oh, swings up this way. Looks like it's got clips there. There's the other one, I can't actually see it, but there we go. Ugh, something's not working right. One bit's jumped out, but these should sort of swing up. I see, you've got to pull it forward a bit. They're all designed for a bit of servicing in those days. Now we've got more boards. Oh, someone's made a whole, that other 5-pin DIN has got some whole Vero board thing in there. I think that looks, going by the caps and stuff, might be a power board and the heatsink, and there's possibly a relay. Some other board, does it tell you? Splitter unit, service code. So these modules should be all labelled, I think. We have a Chroma AGC, sound record U. That one I can't see. That one I can't see. Sound FA. IF detector. And the others I think we'd have to unplug to see what they are. That is a KC oscillator, I think. Big Luma delay line here that says tuner there. Does the other say what it is? It's an antenna amplifier. Okay, yeah, they used to have a amplifier. Looks like the sound reproduction or something module's gone. If that's what that was. And I can't see the writing on that one. Does it say the other side what it is? Oh, here we go. Modulator, antenna amplifier, signal prep or something, AGC, so they're all labelled on the back here. That one makes it easier. Detector, IF amplifier, sound FA, reference, sound record. One of these was a Chroma, that must be that one there. Chroma AGC maybe, Chroma Oz, I guess oscillator that's meant to be. Yeah, interesting old tech, because this is basically exactly the same sort of board it looks like. Probably the same, yeah, same dry joint real soldering. The same chassis around the outside bent and soldered as a K9 television, or maybe slightly later. But even into the K12, KT2, KT3 era, this is all looks like a Philips, recognisable to any technician that has worked on Philips stuff. Just from the circuit board, obviously the modules, same blue print and stuff, little blue capacitors everywhere, and some of those Euro stripy polyester caps and stuff. And we've got a tuner, or must be the board for the buttons. Looks possibly dry jointed a bit. Not sure what these other modules are. They might tell us what that thing is down there. That's our splitter unit. We already looked at that. I don't know if that board's got much on it. Oh, it does have a. Oh, it's just a bunch of capacitors, I think. What on earth? There's a bunch of axial. Does that just clip out? Axial electrolytic capacitors. Now I've got to try and not scratch my hand on the bottom of this other circuit board when this lets go. That's not going to let go. So they've used an existing slot. That's all it is, Vero board with diodes and capacitors. 220 mic at 63. I think that's on a couple of 470s. What on earth is that? And a diode to go with each one by the look of it. No idea what they're doing there. I mean, I guess if they got rid of the original, well, they've put a new transformer in it, because I think these did have a multi-tap sort of transformer. But this may be something related to getting the voltages to multiple things, because that would have been a bit of a hassle if they got rid of the original power supply, I would think. And yeah, another clipping board. I assume this is an original one. Someone's labelled the transistors, or have they added their own? I think someone's here. There's, what do you call that, rainbow cable. Oh, there's a bit more rainbow cable. So yeah, someone's added their own stuff. possibly fiddled. What is this? Maybe this is a whole new board here. This is a, wow, someone made their own homemade, that's not a Phillips board. Wow, I'm surprised by that. Rainbow ribbon cabled all the caps. It looks like they've mounted them off board because I saw some Phillips looking capacitors. I assume this was a factory board. That's a Phillips cap, so they probably came out of the original. God, the things people did. Whoever did this really put some time into it. Yeah, that's a crazy level of stuff. It looks like they've put the holes here for some capacitors and then probably realised they ain't going to fit because of this other large one and mounted on external board. So we've got a relay as well, a multi-pole by the look of it. Yeah, amazing what people used to get up to. I never would have probably put this much work into it, but I guess if you really needed whatever this was for some purpose. I didn't realise they'd quite rebuilt it this much. That's weird, just to save a bit of space. You think you just keep the original. Maybe this does other functions than just converting RF into composite video. Has it still got some sort of switch mounted? Possibly. That I think is a Phillips. Surely that's an original Phillips board. Wow, I don't think it actually is either. Unless, I don't think Phillips had any non-screen printed boards. It's got some relays on it. Let's have a look at the tracks on it. Well, it's got the proper, no, that must, well, it's got the proper thing around it. It's got green lacquer on it. I think that is a proper Phillips board. It just doesn't have any screen print on the top side. Wow, that's some crazy stuff I didn't expect. Oh well, I guess we should plug this thing in and see what it actually does, if anything. How do we get this board? It's a bit of a fiddly thing to get it to swing, and especially since I haven't touched one of these since, yeah, God knows when that last one I looked at. That would have been the last time I had it open. That one I fixed for the guy to get his wedding tapes off, and that was probably the late 90s, I would guess. The guy I did that for isn't even alive. He died possibly this year, actually, unfortunately. So another old technician that's passed on, though he was more into boat electronics and stuff. Actually, I just noticed where they say colour, no colour, channel 5A it must come out on. So that is a colour killer, I guess. Not sure why you'd want that, but I'm not sure if these sockets are original, but it would have had an AV in and out, I think. I don't actually know what these had. I'll have to dig that other one out. That's another project I've got to get to one day. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get it going, but I do have a couple of tapes, but I don't know what format they're recorded in. It'd be nice to see if there's anything interesting on those, because the only chance of ever finding any old video recordings, adverts, TV shows and stuff from the 70s is really on these. Most pneumatics weren't sort of used for home use at all. Even these were rarely, so there's hardly any recordings prior to about 1981, when Beta and VHS got a bit more decently priced. Well, we've got a video light flickering, and that's about it. Let's hope this doesn't... Oh, well, the clock started flashing. Something went click on that relay, I think. So are we on or off? I don't know. Interesting. Is that meant to flicker because it's got no signal? Possibly. Oh, this will be interesting. Nothing's labelled as to in and out or anything. I guess we'll see if we get any signal out of it. When I switch that mode, I get snow up on the television, so I'm guessing if I plug the pattern generator into that, we may have the ability to turn in some RF. The other the other B and C socket, I should say, didn't seem to do anything. Let's see, can we... Oh yeah, we've got different signs of pattern generator being there. Now, which channel's which for starters? Yeah, that one's maybe doing something. Ooh, nearly had something. They should have these little things. Oh yes, that's at the bottom. These little white things move along. We're on 0 to 4, so that's how we know what band we're on. I think that is the one because it's... Yeah, is it doing something? Yeah, it's doing more than that one. So that must be channel 1. Yeah, now we're definitely doing some tuning, I think. Not sure we're going to get a signal. Something's coming out. Oh, there we go. Monochrome. Where's that colour switch? Colour is up, so okay, let's keep tuning. Maybe we just haven't got the... Oh, there it is. Took a while, but there is colour, so that's tuned in. I don't know where the audio comes out of this thing. Is it that original audio connector? They have removed an audio module. Oh, here we go. I've got colour audio lights on now. That's pretty crazy. I didn't know they actually lit up like that. Oh, we did have. Oh yeah, when you push the drawer in, the automatic fine tuning probably clicks in, and it lost colour. Now it stayed on. So okay, so there's a colour light. Well, that's something you don't see on a modern VCR. Some light to show there's video present, colour, and audio. So it should have audio somewhere. Yeah, 1700's only got a tuning light there. So that's a fascinating and rather weird old thing to have. But it looks like we can tune in. What's that? Vid. Oh, I was going to say, does it have an... where's the AV switch? That's it, I think. It's a bit dodgy, but... So that's how you get external video. I want to see if it works. Where's my... That would explain what the other B and C connector is. Yep. Okay, so that's AV input. That's RF. And we've probably got an RF output. I don't know if I can be bothered to tune that in. I guess why not? Might as well see if this... yeah, that's right. Oh, there it is. We've got sound. That's a pretty good picture for RF. Well, I guess we're on video input. Really doesn't look any different, which is strange. Oh, do we know what this other switch is? We don't yet. So yeah, channel 5 is now tuned to channel 5, hopefully. That's on RF out of the pattern generator through this unit. That's the video input. If we go to TV video, it's actually worse on that. It's got a few hum bars in that by the look of it. That's the RF. So just on the video in by the look of it, that's rather weird. So it is basically what I thought it is, though I don't know what this second switch does. Doesn't seem to do a thing now. Maybe that's to do with this other, or the audio out or something. Because I haven't tried the actual, and I don't know what that 5-pin extra DIN connector does, or whether that replaces the one here. So that's a crazy amount of time someone put into this. Just cutting the whole case down and stuff, let alone mounting a new transformer on a new piece of metal. Then it looks like they've made at least 1 or 2 complete circuit boards, one out of Vero board, one they've etched up. That is some crazy stuff. But at least this does have... Ooh, I just turned this off and I still got the AV going through it. Yeah, so that didn't even shut off. Yeah, no power at all. Rather interesting. Oh, one thing I guess I should look at that I didn't look at is, does this clock even work when we're in clock mode? Activate. Oh yes, well something. Oh, you press that for day, is it? Set clock. Oh yeah. Maybe you just, that's slow, that's fast. I've got start time, record length, day. How do we change that? Ooh, what happened then? Day, oh, timer on off, that is. I see, so that's your timer switch. Do we hold it? Record length. Oh yeah, that sets, that makes it shorter. So is it like a maximum of it? Oh yeah, well the tape is probably, I don't know, are they an hour and a half tape? I'll have to have a look. Turns out I've got 3 of these tape. Oh, one's a cleaning maintenance cassette. Well, we don't care what length that thing is. A VC45. Oh, Geilston Bay. So Geilston Bay High. So this is a ex-school tape. 45 minutes, I assume. And here's another one, 60/OU130. Geometry, 0 for symmetry. Measurement, a right triangle. Possibly from the same source. Maths, 0 for symmetry. Oh, we actually know what's on these, or on one of them. So they're like a double stack. There's 2 reels, an outer and an inner, the white and the black one. Kind of like a 8-track cassette. It's a 3M tape. Don't know what all that writing's about. Pretty much the same size as a normal one. That's rather dirty, needs a bit of a clean I think, but you can see it goes on an angle from top reel to bottom reel, so very much the 8-track type design, which is I guess kind of weird. Oh, we can open up the side here. Weird given that Philips invented the audio cassette and yet they made a double stacker rather than the reel to reel cassette type thing. And let's just have a quick, didn't realise one of these was a cleaning cassette. Well, I probably did once upon a time. Oh yeah, there you go, the good old abrasive cleaning tape, much like an audio cassette one. There you go. They didn't really recommend using head cleaning tapes too often. Made in Germany. What is all this Asian writing in here? To be sure of maintaining high quality picture, the cleaning maintenance cassette used regularly. Deposits through in the video heads. After someone's crossed out 30 and made it 50 hours. Is that original or someone written that in there? I think it looks like it's probably, yeah, it's got a 1 there, so it's probably been, oh, does this say? Start button, record button. Oh, so this is in another language. Off. Where's the... Oh, here we go. Press the tape threading button. After every 15, insert the cleaning maintenance cassette, then press the tape threading button. So it's in play button. Now press simultaneously the start and record. Ah, and record. And let the cassette run until the machine switches off about 3 minutes. Press the rewind button, so it's only a 3-minute tape, which makes sense. Unthread and remove the cassette. So it must have a threading switch. So maybe these you put it in and then you press the button to wrap it around the heads, and then you probably had start or record to kind of get an instant recording. Yeah, so long since I've used one. I don't know, maybe, I don't remember the 1700 having those features, but maybe, oops, gotta go upside down, don't we? And it looks like the time's ticked on. Yeah, so record length is maximum hour and a half by the look of it. Start time, yeah, we can set that. So we can tell it when to come on. If I could be bothered, I'd set the timer, the length. Oh, day's now on 3. How did that happen? So it's this button. Oh, okay, so it's got up to 3 days timer, so not exactly what you'd expect from your standard VHS machine. And I just noticed it's got a funny step down bit of plastic down to those displays. Automatic recording, so timer recording in other words. Yeah, fascinating old bit of gear. Potentially this has some parts value if nothing else. I mean, it really does have no value as a... I don't really need to convert off air, which doesn't exist anymore, into composite video anymore. That's right, a bit of gold plated tracks down there possibly. But I thought for $8 it's a good novelty thing if nothing else. And potentially there's some parts on one of these machines, since a few people seem to be getting these going again. But they were very uncommon to see second hand or anything around the place. And I can't remember, I got one I think was partly dismantled or faulty. Someone gave me one at some stage, which is the one I used for the parts to fix that other one. So that one came in handy, but I think they just ended up getting thrown out after that. I don't think I ever had call to fix one ever again. But luckily I kept that one that someone gave me. And yeah, a lot of the times if you got one use out of it, that was enough. You're just about time to throw it away. And yeah, I get a feeling I did buy one in working order from somewhere, from the scrap metal yard or something, back in the early 2000s or something. I'm pretty sure there was that, a couple of laser disc players, and a U-matic came out of a place. I'm pretty sure I flogged them all off again. Managed to find a home for the lot of them. But it'd be interesting to see if I can fix this other one. I wouldn't count on it. But if we could get it going, it'd be handy if anyone ever comes up with these tapes. But like I say, very rare anyone had this format cassette as a home cassette. In fact, that person that had their wedding video on one is the only one I ever heard of. Maybe they got the local school or something to dub from a camera or something. I don't know how they ended up in that format. But they did have the machine, so I guess they must have had it. Unless they got that machine later on, who knows. Maybe they came across a machine when the schools were getting rid of them or something and kept it, even though it was faulty. Or maybe it just went faulty from sitting around for so long. Dunno. But I am impressed with the effort someone put into this thing. And at least there's a few spare modules. That tuner, like I say, would probably fit anything up to a KT3 era television, like that little one I fixed recently. Well, I've edited the video for it recently. I fixed it a while back. So those tuners did fail occasionally, but pretty rare. I used to have a few that I salvaged out of these TVs, and I think I might have used one of them. And that was about it, but they were getting pretty old, the K911s, etc. And less worth fixing. Certainly KT3s and KL9s, which I think use the same tuner, were worth repairing still. And even today they're quite good TVs. But I don't think these RF modules, they were the sort of thing you could use once upon a time. I forgot the early videos did have a separate antenna amplifier. That's just to basically, so the signal coming in isn't degraded going back to the TV. Because a lot of times if you had one of these on record, you'd also could have your TV on a different channel running through its own tuner. So that was designed to make up any loss going through the VCR. And then we've got this enormous modulator, which is massive for an RF modulator. So this is the antenna amp by the look of it. That's got a VHF and UHF input, that tuner, if it's like a standard K9 of the era, which it would be connection each end, which is VHF input and UHF input. So this is a bit more complicated than it needs to be. It's also got a signal, or I guess the output of the RF modulator goes back into it to be mixed in and fed to the television, because that's another RF signal that it produces at channel 5, so that's a channel 5 modulator. I guess in the modern world that could still possibly, it's got 5A written on the end of it, could still be kind of useful, because they're getting hard to come by those sort of things now. Even old VCRs that came out on VHF, especially for channel 5, is a rare and rather oddball one. Because I think it was, 5A was I don't think that channel was really used in Australia much, but it was there. They added it in for some reason. Can't remember any state, probably were states that had 5A actually used for a local channel, but it would have been fairly rare, I think. most things, VCRs were normally 0, 1, 3 and 4, and a lot of aftermarket computer modulators and stuff I think were on one of those channels. So that's a bit of a weird one. Now could this have been a kind of wanted to be a portable unit or something? It's the only reason there's not really an easy way of carrying it. But I can't think of any other reason unless you're going to put it in a caravan or something, which is very unlikely. Maybe it was used in an OB van or something for a TV station, outside broadcast or something. Possibly some sort of situation like that they needed to save some room. So one of their technicians cut down one of these old machines and did all the work necessary because they probably had nothing better to do. And it's only government money, so maybe there was something like that happened. That's the sort of thing it looks like, because I can't imagine even the average hobbyist spending this much time or having a need to spend this much time. Maybe someone just did it because they enjoyed doing it. Or it's people that used to like to tinker around with stuff just for the hell of it. So it's possible someone just wanted the challenge and a bit of a project to do. Certainly not impossible. Yeah, but the only giveaway, if they'd got rid of that writing off there, it would have, or resprayed the whole thing. They could have actually filled that gap in a bit and resprayed it, and you almost wouldn't know this was modified at all. They've done such a good job of matching the pieces up. Because even the vents match. But anyway, just a bit of a novelty unit. I want to get this out of the way because it's been lying around for ages and I'm cleaning out some shelves. So I thought I'd have a look at it and see what it is, and it is exactly pretty much what I thought it was. And yeah, probably not a lot of use in the modern world other than as a very bulky modulator or demodulator. But I think I'll put this one into storage for now, so thanks for watching.